no neck. Okay. I'll just sit like this the whole time so y'all can see my neck. Hey, hello, my name is JoJo and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. So it's time for my first update video of spring semester. It feels like it's been so long since I did one of these videos. I think my last update video was like mid-December, and that was after the end of the semester. Not a lot, but also a lot has happened. I just didn't do one for January because spring semester didn't start until like the last week of January. So to do a January update would have been like a 5-minute video of me just saying what I did over winter break, which really wasn't much. So I figured I would just wait and combine January and February into one video. So here I am. I'm back. I missed doing this, just talking. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, so first, just a really quick recap of what I did over winter break. So I went home for 2 weeks, the week of Christmas and New Year. I had to be back on, not necessarily on campus, but I had to be back within the state by like the week after New Year. So New Year was on a Saturday. That means that before my regularly scheduled client session on that Thursday, I had to be back in the state because we aren't allowed to see clients while we're out of state. Regardless of the fact that I have been seeing both of my clients via telehealth due to COVID guidelines mandated by my school, I still had to be within the states of New York and New Jersey in order to see my clients. And even though I didn't really want to come home so soon because I'm used to being home for longer during winter break, just because classes start so late in January, I didn't want to have to unnecessarily skip any sessions with my clients. So I just sucked it up and came back to Jersey and did nothing for essentially 2.5 weeks. Well, no, okay, I didn't do nothing. I actually did stuff. I'll get to that in a second. But as far as like school is concerned, I didn't really do much for 2.5 weeks. I was just here and was seeing my clients. On top of that, I think I mentioned this in my final update video for last semester, but I had fallen kind of really behind on my thesis. First semester was just really, really rough in terms of just like figuring out a system for myself and organizing myself. And so research kind of fell to the back burner for last semester. Told myself this semester I wasn't gonna let that happen. So I used the excessive amount of free time I had for those 2.5 weeks to really get caught up on my thesis and recruitment. And I'm very happy to say that I am now in the data analysis phase of my thesis. And that's so exciting because it means I'm almost done. So yeah, working on that with my team. Really excited to see what that comes to. Hopefully I will be able to get the majority of my data analysis done within the next like month, because there is a conference coming up that I really, really want to submit to, but I have to like get this data ready first. So keeping that on the forefront, I'll let y'all know how that goes. What else? Classes. As far as classes go this semester, first of all, there is a lot of noise traffic-wise going on outside my building right now. I'm hoping that y'all can't hear it. I'm doing my best to talk over it because if I stop every time a really loud truck or car drives by, it's gonna take me forever to record this. And I don't wanna be sitting here for 2 hours. So if y'all can hear all that traffic outside, I am so sorry. But we're just gonna keep it pushing. Just pretend you don't hear it. I'll put the background music a little bit louder this video. Maybe it'll cover it up, who knows? But yeah, so classes this semester. I'm taking CBT, diagnostic testing 2. I am also taking an ethics course, which is a required course, and a qualitative methods research course, which is really important because my thesis has a qualitative component to it. And so that's been helping me kind of sift through all of this data that I have. And then I have practicum, which is again, kind of a class, but not really a class. It's more so like where we talk about our cases that we're seeing through the clinic. So yeah, in terms of like what's going on in each class, CBT so far has been okay. I don't really know how I feel about it yet. I mean, it's weird because I do PM Plus, which is like the bare bones of CBT, but in terms of like actual CBT, like what I'm learning in the class, I don't know if like CBT will be my thing, if that makes sense. Like I haven't even gotten my first CBT client yet, and I'm already feeling like it's not gonna be enough, which I probably should like stop myself from thinking, because like in our very first class we talked about how therapists buy in essentially to CBT as a contributor to helping clients. Like if the therapist doesn't fully believe that CBT will work, then it like lessens the efficacy of the treatment. It's really hard to explain. So I'm not gonna try, but I'm having lots of thoughts about CBT that I'm trying to reconcile within myself before I start seeing my client, which is actually coming up fairly soon, and I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, that's CBT. Diagnostic testing too. We're learning the PAI and the Rorschach this semester. We already have gone over PAI. It's essentially just another personality test, like a self-report personality test. But the Rorschach, oh my goodness, am I enjoying learning the Rorschach. It is so fun. I might be a little bit over like enthused. It's really complicated. Like it's a lot more complicated than I thought it would be, but it's so much fun. And it's so interesting, and I can't wait to administer it to my testing volunteer, which will probably be closer to like April-ish sometime, because a lot goes into learning how to administer the Rorschach. So yeah, that's been really fun. Ethics course is a class about ethical considerations that you need to take into account as a therapist. You learn APA guidelines, you learn HIPAA guidelines, you learn all of that. It's really like self-explanatory, but that's also been really interesting because it's making me think about things that I hadn't thought about before, especially considering that I am a PhD student, soon to be hopefully budding clinician. I make YouTube videos, I have social media accounts. All of these are things that are starting to come to the forefront of like ethical issues, because they're things that no one really had to consider before technology kind of took over the planet. So that's been really interesting to think about and consider. What else? And then qualitative methods, like I said, has been really helpful for me in terms of my thesis, because my thesis has a qualitative component to it. I have been learning a lot in that course. It's so interesting. I'm actually starting to feel like qualitative research is more along the lines of what I want to do for my dissertation. So that'll be interesting, but we'll talk about that later. We don't have to worry about that now. Oh, and practicum. We've been doing case presentations this semester. I already did one of my case presentations on one of my clients. Case presentations as a whole are super helpful. They're super interesting. You get to hear about like the different clients that everyone's seeing, and you get to like give feedback, but also like think through things as a group and kind of consider things that probably hadn't been thought of before, new perspectives to take on clients. It's all like that's the part of the PhD program that I love. Like anything that has to do with clients, love it. Anything that has to do with like school, research, love it a little bit less, but like I still like it, you know? But anything to do with clients, therapy, actually providing services, and like talking about like cases, chef's kiss. I'm having so much fun. So yeah, that's class. So on the note of loving all things client related, let's talk about my clients. So I also have a lot of energy today. It's really weird. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I also have a lot of energy today. It's kind of weird. But yeah, let's talk about my clients. So I'm a little sad. So you may or may not remember, I mentioned in one or more of my update videos from last semester that in my program, we start with 2 psychodynamic clients, and we see them for 20 sessions each. I started with both of my psychodynamic clients pretty early on in the semester. I had my first sessions with them in like October. And so that means that I am almost done with them in terms of like when I'm recording this. My 20th session with my first client is this week. I'm having a lot of like bittersweet feelings about it, because I've just enjoyed working with both of my clients. And in terms of my second client, I still have a few more sessions with them, but I will also be done with them fairly soon. Having talks about termination with both of them have been like reassuring, but also like I wish I could continue working with them. Like if I had the option to continue seeing them, I 100% would. But because of the way our clinic works, we offer 20 sessions, and that's just what it is. I know that's not the case with all programs, but in my program, that is how we work. My CBT client, like I mentioned earlier, I will actually start working with my CBT client very soon. So I want to correct something that I said in one of my update videos, because we got new information when the semester started. So I think at some point I mentioned that I would be seeing my CBT client like into the summer and maybe even into the fall, depending on how scheduling worked out. But we found out at the beginning of the semester that we're actually doing what is called a brief CBT protocol. So by brief, we're only seeing our CBT clients for like 8 sessions. And so that means that if I start seeing my CBT client at the currently planned date, I will be done with my CBT client by the end of the semester. And that'll be it. So yeah, CBT client starting very soon. I have intake with them coming up. And then sessions should start like the week after that or a couple of weeks after that. So exciting. You know what? I have no shame in my excitement. I was about to like tone it down, but I have no shame in my excitement. I like working with clients. This is like the best part for me. This is how I know that like I was meant to do this shit, because I love it so much. Oh, PM Plus. So actually, right before I started filming this, like literally like minutes before I started recording this video, I got an email about a potential new PM Plus client. I have to double check to make sure that my schedule and the client's schedule works out. But if it does, then I will also have another PM Plus client. So yeah, I'll have a CBT client and a PM Plus client at the same time, which should be easier for me to manage than having 2 psychodynamic clients and a PM Plus client, because I'll have to do less of the like hat switching in terms of like what kind of therapy I'm providing. Like I mentioned, PM Plus is very much like the bare bones of CBT. So it'll be very like easy for me to just like, you know, I don't know what this means, but I hope you know what I'm trying to say, because words are escaping my brain. So yeah, I think that's all for my clients' updates. So overall feelings about the semester so far, I am tired. I'm exhausted. I have a lot of energy right now. I really don't know why that is, because this doesn't happen often. I'm usually not this energetic. I am exhausted. I really have no one to blame but myself for being tired all the time, because I have kind of created a new, I guess like, not routine. Well, yeah, a new routine, but also like in terms of how I'm using my time. I have gotten a lot more rigid with myself, because I am trying to as much as possible, avoid doing work on weekends. I am someone who likes to rest. I am someone who likes to enjoy my weekends and not have to stress about work. And last semester, I spent a lot of my weekend time playing catch up every week because I felt like no matter how much I was planning to do things during the week, somehow something always got missed, and I would have to use time on the weekends to catch up on readings or like do homework of some kind, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I've gotten a lot more rigid and self-disciplined in terms of how I'm spending my time every day, Monday through Friday. And that means that with the exception of like the breaks that I plan into the day for myself, I'm pretty much always doing some form of work. Maintaining such a rigid schedule with myself is really exhausting. But like outside of that, I'm also like feeling kind of like I'm finally finding my footing in the program and finally finding my footing as a therapist. Not necessarily in terms of like, oh, I know what I'm doing now, because I really fucking don't. I probably shouldn't say that. No, I don't. I don't think anyone really knows what they're doing ever. But like I feel like I'm finally figuring out like who I am with clients and like what kind of therapist I am or what kind of therapist I'm hoping to be. And in terms of like the program itself, I'm finding, my support system and finding the people who I know I can rely on and like that I can go to if I need help or anything. Because I can tell you right now, it ain't the people who's supposed to be helping me. I'm not trying to be shady, but that's just, I felt this coming into the program. I felt it before I got accepted to the program. I tried to avoid certain things and it just didn't work out that way. And so I'm stuck with a certain situation that I'm not particularly fond of. But I've been circumventing that and finding my true support system, and that has just been so like, yeah. Words, I don't know what words are today. I feel like I keep using the same words over and over again. But yeah, it's just been like really reaffirming to be able to find like a true support system within the program and not having to rely on the people that I'm expected to rely on, who are obviously not providing the support that I both need and deserve. Because I deserve better. But yeah, I hate myself. I actually hate myself sometimes. I am a joke. Anyway, so what else? I have a list of things that I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna look at my list. I think that's all. I think I talked about everything on my list. Spring break is in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited for that. I'm going home for a couple of days because I miss my family. It's been really hard. I'm not gonna lie. Spring semester so far has been really hard emotionally, just personally, emotionally, because I don't know if I ever said this in a video, but I had a dog. I have a dog. He's not dead. I have a dog. I have a dog. I've had my dog since high school, and my dog has been with me since the day I got him. I had him registered as an emotional support animal, and he has literally been with me every step of this journey that I've been on. He finished high school with me. He came to undergrad with me. When I moved to Jersey for my master's program, he came with me. And then when I moved back after COVID for my PhD program, he came with me. And he was here with me up until I went home for winter break, because when I was really like over winter break taking a look at my schedule for this semester and realizing how long some of my days were gonna be, I felt really, really bad about, like, at the thought of leaving him home that long without any human interaction. So I made the really emotional and hard decision to let him stay with my parents. And I'm gonna try not to cry. And it's my first time being anywhere without my dog, and it's been really hard. And so I've just been trying to stay busy. I realized that I've been trying to stay busy. And maybe that's why I wanted weekends to be free, because now on the weekends, since I've been doing everything I can to not have work to do on the weekends that would require me to stay home, I've been going out a lot more on the weekends to, like, hang out with friends so that I don't have to be in my apartment alone. Whew, I should probably go back to therapy. But yeah, so it's just been, it's been a little rocky without my dog here. So I'm really excited to go home for spring break, see my parents, see my sister, see my dog, see my family, and just spend time with them, because I'm here alone now. So anyway, I'm not trying to end on a sad note. But yeah, other than that, I'm really excited, but, like, nervous to start with my CPT clients. And just really excited to get through the rest of the semester. And yeah, that's it. So on that note, thank you for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. I truly appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and click that little notification button so you don't miss my next upload. And I'll see you in my next one.